What's going on, everyone? So the Los Angeles Lakers could use a center. And the idea is that at some point this season, the Lakers are going to pull off a trade for a center. Giannis Valanciunas has kind of been the main target that keeps kind of being brought up over and over again. One is because LeBron wanted him. LeBron was willing to take a discount in order to bring him on. Two, he's on the Washington Wizards, which the Washington Wizards and the Lakers have made several trades over the past few years and usually work with teams that you've built that rapport with, you've built the relationships with. And then also Valanciunas is on a very cheap, reasonable contract to where you can just kind of do a swap, right? You can swap Gabe Vincent for him and then give up an asset or a couple assets, whatever, right? Put you in a good position. But we kind of have a new challenger that has emerged, right? And that's the New York Knicks. So the New York Knicks were already in the market and on the hunt for a center. And Mitchell Robinson is now out for at least the first 2 months of the NBA season for them. And yeah, they have like Precious and they have like Jericho Sims and Okike and guys like that. But those guys are undersized, unproven, and the Knicks could potentially be in some trouble. Now, you could move like Julius Randle to the 5 at times, but more likely than not, the Knicks are probably going to need a real center. And problem is the more competition there is, the more that the Lakers are probably going to have to pay, or the harder it is to get the center that you want, right? The Knicks already offered 2 firsts for Walker Kessler, and Utah denied it. Now, does that mean that Utah just didn't like the Knicks 2 firsts, right? Look, Danny Ainge has said publicly that he believes that the Lakers picks are the best picks on the market, that he believes that the Lakers picks are cream of the crop, right? So he values the Lakers picks, and he's put his money where his mouth is because he traded and helped us get the pieces we needed to get to the conference finals and took a protected first. He didn't just take an unprotected. No, he took a protected first. And the Lakers could always lift that protection. So the Lakers do have probably a better negotiation and standpoint with Utah. But do they really want to trade Walker Kessler? Now, based on reports, they do. Based on reports, Danny Ainge doesn't see Walker Kessler as a long-term piece, but that doesn't mean that he's willing to let him go right now. So if Walker Kessler's off the table, that shrinks the market even further, right? A lot of people want Wendell Carter Jr. I want Wendell Carter Jr. Lakers have touched base and inquired about Wendell Carter Jr. We yet, to this day, have no clue if Wendell Carter Jr. is or ever will be available. We just know teams have asked. We know that teams have hey, and that Orlando has at least answered the phone. But you should, right? You should always do your due diligence. Someone calls for a play. I mean, the Lakers were listening to LeBron deal, right? If you can get a fleece, why wouldn't you? So if he's off table, that's another one. Now you're talking guys like, Clint Capella, Giannis Valanciunas, right? What else is that? Might be it. Right? And now, obviously, as you move closer to trade deadline, there could be other guys that develop that could end up coming up. But, what if the Knicks are we really need a center, give up a first for Valanciunas? Right? What if they're willing to overpay? If you're the Lakers, you do not give up a first for Valanciunas. Right? But the Knicks might be looking at it as we're already all in. We already overpaid for Mikal Bridges. If we can get Valanciunas as our backup, right, might as well go do it. It's a real possibility, right? Now, Clint Capella, problem with Clint Capella, he's $20 million. Now, I've said I don't mind going and getting a Clint Capella. I've said myself, because what Clint Capella does, the Lakers need, right? He's still one of the best offensive rebounding bigs in the league. Still a double-double guy. Right? Even last year, he averaged, 12 and 11 or something like that. He still give you a block and a half, 2 blocks a game. Still give you a steal. Right? He's still good. He's not what he used to be, but he's still good. Is he worth the $20 million? Probably not, but he's probably $15 million, right? In today's market, realistically. But he's an expiring contract. So you could use him to kind of unload salary, right? Where, let's say you trade, Rui and Jalen Hood-Schifino, right? Just names, right? To go get Clint Capella. And then you bring him in. Well, now you just, when the season's over, his contract expires, you just clear $20 million off the books. You keep D'Lo or trade him for an expiring. If not, then now you just clear D'Lo off the books. Now there's another $18.5 million. It's just between those two guys, you cleared basically 38, nearly 40 million off the books. And LeBron James can restructure his contract to whatever he take the vet minimum if he wants to. I don't think that'd happen, but he could take another 20 million or whatever off the top. Ton of good free agents, or what appears to be. Got to remember the new CBA, you can now negotiate and work on your players before. So a lot of these guys that are expected to be available next offseason may end up staying with their team. Just something to kind of keep in mind. If you look up at like, hey, who's a free agent next season? Keep in mind half those guys are probably going to be taken off the list. But still several that make a lot of sense. And there's still guys that could end up making sense and could always end up pulling off some type of trade, right? Especially if you have all your assets and stuff like that. Probably not giving up a first Clint Capella. But here's the thing. The Knicks could be looking at that too. Knicks could be looking at that as like, not only could we get Clint Capella, but he clears some money off for books, kind of give us some flexibility going forward, right? Mikal Bridges is expected to take a discount when his contract is ready to renew, and Brunson obviously took a discount, right? So you kind of look at the Knicks and Lakers kind of in very similar positions. But the Knicks probably more willing to overpay than the Lakers are. And so that could bode some competition. And then also with Clint Capella, if it works either way for the Knicks or the Lakers, you could just re-sign him for like $10 million a year or whatever, right? So either way, you're in a good spot. But the Knicks are kind of that new challenger that really poses a problem. Because everybody that the Lakers are going to be looking at the center spot, the Knicks are going to be looking for too. The only difference is the Knicks have more that they're willing to give up and may, in some cases, even have just better packages that they can put together for these guys. There's also talks about guys like Nick Richards. Again, there's no inclination that he's actually available, but the Knicks keep talking about how he keeps being a name that's brought up by the Knicks as the Knicks are keeping an eye on him, which would signal that the Knicks are at least confident that Nick Richards could be available. So, and that's not counting again. You have, I don't know, random centers here and there that end up becoming available that nobody expects, or maybe you get a marquee center that no one expects, and the Lakers, oh, hey, let's go pull off a deal and go get this guy. There's options. There's definitely flexibility there. But when the more competition there is, the harder and harder it becomes for the Lakers to, A, get a good deal, but B, just get a deal, period. Because let's say the only centers that ultimately become available are Valanciunas and Clint Capella. One, the Knicks could promise Valanciunas a starting job. Lakers are probably not going to do that. And if you're the Knicks, you just bring Robinson off the bench. Justify it to Robinson as like, hey, you've been injured constantly. So Valanciunas, you could even promise that. Valanciunas could go, hey, don't send me to the Lakers, send me to the Knicks. Because I'll get to play more minutes, I'll get to start and do all that stuff. All right? But let's say Valanciunas and Clint Capella are the only two options that are available come the trade deadline. Options that actually would make sense to kind of fill the void of the center position. If the Knicks end up stealing Valanciunas or something like that, right? You're in trouble. Also, Robert Williams. That's a name that I should probably have mentioned earlier, but just popped in my head. A lot of thoughts that the Blazers are going to trade Robert Williams at some point. His injury history is a bit of a concern. Would the Knicks be willing to take on basically another Mitchell Robinson, right? They're very similar as far as size and skill set, that high energy rebound, block shots, right? Robert Williams is healthy. Whew, that dude is a handful. Problem is him healthy, giving you 40, 50 games a season. Would the Knicks be willing to offer for that? Maybe. Would the Knicks be willing to offer a first for him? If you're the Lakers, you're not doing that. Right? That's the difference. You have a team in the Knicks that they've already shown that they'll overpay. They've already shown that they don't care. Hey, if it's a guy that they believe in, if it's a guy that they think will put them over the top or put them over the hump, they'll give up 2 firsts to go get that guy. Right? If they think Valanciunas is the guy, they'll gladly let the Wizards fleece them to go get Valanciunas. The Lakers aren't going to do that. And look, the Lakers shouldn't do that because Valanciunas isn't the guy that's taking them over the top. The Knicks are in a very different situation than the Lakers. And 1, they're in the Eastern Conference. It's a lot easier. And 2, they're second best team in the Eastern Conference. Right? Like, if they're healthy, I think that they have a real shot at beating Boston. So they're looking at it as like, we got like 1 team to beat, and we're in the NBA Finals. Where the Lakers are like, we have to beat 4. Right? Like, it's like, man, we have to beat all these teams. Like, every team we play is going to be, you make an argument for 8 different teams in the Western Conference to make it out and be in the NBA Finals. Where the East, Knicks are probably looking at it as like us and the Celtics. That's it. We're good. So just the kind of things to keep in mind. Knicks could potentially pose a big problem. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion, and I pass a question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? I feel what your thoughts. Do you have concerns about the Knicks too? Do you think, no big deal. Knicks are fine. No, let them, if they want Valanciunas, get Valanciunas, go get Capella, go get whatever. There will be other guys, or just be patient, wait for a guy to develop, or maybe it's Christian Koloko, right? Maybe he's the guy. Now, the problem is he still hasn't been cleared, which is a bit concerning. But, that could be something where maybe he does kind of solve that backup need, and now you're just kind of doing and looking for some other trade. It's always a possibility, but we'll see. Time will tell. And anyway, however you feel, whatever your thoughts are, I'd love to hear it. So let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me out. Lets me enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe to the channel, hit that subscribe button, turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.